I wanted to hear some of you have a lot of restaurateur friends in New York, and they've been really struggling. I wanted to kind of hear some of those stories, if you don't mind telling
yeah,
them.
of course. I mean, yeah. So I live in Brooklyn, New York. As everybody knows, it's COVID, all shit shut down.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, man, people have been struggling. We do have a lot of friends who own bars and restaurants in New York, and it's been a real struggle. So we most recently, now starting this past week, everything's closed again for indoor dining. The 25% that they were allowed previously, which was a real, fun time with 25%, but now that's closed as well. I do know a lot of folks who own bars and restaurants. It's been a real struggle. So 25% is a challenge because so many places in New York are very small. So 25% could be one or at max two tables. I mean, that's nothing. The outdoor setups for outdoor dining that folks were allowed helped out a lot of people, but the goalposts kept changing. So you were allowed to do X, Y, and Z for your outdoor setup, but then that changed and it had to be a particular width, and folks had to invest more money to meet that goal, and then you had to have sandbags and they had to invest money to make that goal. So, it's kind of like this ever-changing regulatory nightmare for people who are trying to seat outdoors. Indoors, now it's closed. But before that, even, there was the 10 p.m. curfew. That one was fun. So people could come out to eat and drink, but once it became 10 p.m., COVID got a lot more deadly. That's what I, inferred.
What happened at 10 p.m.?
10
Did,
p.m.
the
is
police
the
show
worst
up
time.
and,
It was like the-
RAs in your college dorm? It's time to go home?
Well, I mean, no, but, places had to close. I mean, that's what really happened.
Did they just kick you out, or is it no, we're not serving anyone else?
So it depends where you go. So most places, I don't know, 90% of most 90%, 99%. I mean, all the places followed the rules, I would say. There's a couple places, if you're cool, that are like the speakeasy style that would stay open later.
Oh,
and
we're
so
cool, baby. We're
I'm
cool.
not one to name names, but I mean, that's where fun time was to be had, was these folks who were breaking the rules, though. I mean, by law, everyone had to close at 10 p.m. And so all your potato chips with your beers, which was required until 10 p.m., you had to take that home. But there, we've been lucky enough to spend some fun times at some places who are breaking the rules, but that's far and few in between. Most people are at home now, and they can spread it at home, I guess.
You had an amusing point about how they required the outdoor dining for New York restaurants, and then they made you, when it got cold outside, they made you basically fence in the outdoor areas so that there's no distinction between
that's
outdoor
right, but
and indoor.
You can build your elaborate, at this point, setup of the outdoor dining, which includes, it's literally these wooden structures that are built with these plastic, see-through corrugated panels as the walls, and they have heaters inside, and they're fully enclosed. Some of them even have doors, you guys. I'm not even shitting you. And so it's essentially like an outdoor structure that is outdoor, but is the same thing as indoor. So you've brought the indoor out with your heaters and your fully enclosed structures. And so
Sounds like Little House on the Prairie. We just built a cabin.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Landon, he shows up sometimes. It's crazy.
Wild time.
Yeah. So I mean, we're just getting by.
Sorry. Do you know? You said you know a lot of restaurant owners. Do you know them because you and your husband like to go out and be the socialites, or are you trying? Is that an industry you want to get into someday with your husband, or maybe not after COVID? You're like, this is just nightmare.